inspireyourbestlife.com. That's inspireyourbestlife.com. We're Dr. Surajit Khanna, and we're here with the wonderful co-hosts Valley Anderson and Nicole McIsaac, also with Dr. Surajit Khanna. And for the workshop today, for session 4, we have Emily joining us. And at this point, I would like to turn it over to Valley, who's going to give us the introduction. Thank you, Valley.
Hi, everyone. I'm Valley Anderson. Welcome to Season 4 workshop for Inspire Your Best Life with Dr. Surajit Khanna. Dr. Khanna will take you on a journey helping you plot a path for success to reach your own summit. He is an attorney, a child safety advocate, a servant to the underserved, as well as the champion of returningyouth.com. I would like to introduce my co-host, Nicole McIsaac, who will be sharing more information at the end of the discussion. This week's theme was breaking free of self-doubt. Day 1, Dr. Khanna talked about trusting yourself. Day 2 focused on giving up excuses. And Day 3 concentrated on boosting your self-confidence. Today is a review of all episodes for this week. During today's workshop, we will have an open discussion and Dr. Khanna will give his perspective. We are excited to have Emily Flame joining us here today. Let's welcome Dr. Khanna.
Good afternoon, Valley. Good afternoon, Nicole and Gary, and our wonderful participant and guest, Emily. Today's workshop, we are going to, as Valley said, we will be dedicating on the episode called Stay Focus on Today, Not Tomorrow. Is that what, Valley, we are doing?
Yeah, start today, not tomorrow.
Start today, not tomorrow. So what did we, in last 3 days, we learned about start today and start tomorrow? What did we learn? If somebody could...
I'm sorry, it's about breaking free of self-doubt.
Well, the way we do the workshop is we review all the 3 days, what we did and the topics, and then we engage everybody, those who are participating here today. So we have 3 participants, or 4. Am I counting right? Yes, we have 4, including Gary. And we are going to concentrate on their perspective on each of those elements that will help the audience to see what this topic meant to all of you so that it can be meant to them. The whole purpose of this workshop is to implement the knowledge to your day-to-day activities so that you can transform yourself, you can keep yourself motivated, or in short, we can say inspired. That's the reason of this particular program called Inspire. So breaking free of self-doubt. So what we did was we covered, on Monday, we spoke about trusting in yourself. Tuesday, we did say goodbye to excuses. And Wednesday, we did boosting your confidence. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little bit interactive today in this workshop, since I have all these wonderful participants here, especially Emily from Long Island. So I'm going to stretch as long as possible so that we can get her insight of it. So trusting yourself. Emily, my question to you is, do you trust yourself?
I feel like I definitely do. I think it took a long time to build up the confidence that I have now, but I definitely feel like the person I am now definitely trusts herself and believes in herself and doesn't doubt what she thinks or what she believes or what she wants to do. And I think it's really important because you need to have confidence in yourself, because what's the point of really doing anything if you don't believe in yourself?
Let's drill down a little bit more on that, trusting yourself. That's good that you do trust yourself. But the goal which you are trying to do, because you are in college, so you are out of that high school mode. So now you are a little more serious in your life. But definitely, if you did not trust yourself while you were in high school, you better be trusting yourself now, because you definitely chose a major. Did you choose a major right now?
Yeah, so I am,
Major.
what?
What major you are in?
Yeah, I'm a journalism major. I was a biology major when I went into Quinnipiac University, but I decided about halfway through that that just wasn't what I was passionate about. And I decided to really just believe in myself and trust that I was making the right decision in changing my major. And
Hold your thought on that. Excellent. So you are the right candidate for telling the audience that you started with biology. That means what? You wanted to be either in healthcare or some type of medical profession.
right.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Then when you went half through, you changed and you became to pursue a journalism career. Are you an outspoken person?
I would say so. I feel like I am not afraid to kind of speak my mind when I feel like it calls for it. I don't stand away and just like let people control the conversation if I think there's something that I have that could contribute to it.
Excellent. So definitely that changed you to be more towards journalism rather than your healthcare profession. So you started thinking about and believing in your intuition so that you started trusting yourself. So trusting yourself is a very big element for succeeding in your life. If you don't build up your confidence, if you don't build up your trust on yourself, then you cannot go to the next stage. So like you are in Long Island, if you want to drive from Long Island to Manhattan, you got to trust yourself that, hey, I can drive. Regardless, whether there are crazy drivers on the highway, there are many things happen, but you need to know that I have trust on myself. Because what does that do, Emily, is it gives you control. When you trust yourself, it gives you control. And you got to fix your trust on yourself. And the reason I'm saying that you are a right example here, because you changed your major from one to other. And now, let's say Valley, she is a healthcare professional. She's going to start convincing you, you know what? Why did you change it? You should go back. Okay? So that external force which is going to make you confused, then you start thinking, oh my God, yeah, I should have stayed. All right, I'll go back again. That means what? You are not trusting yourself. So that happens when you don't trust yourself. You are always in a confusion mode, right? So the next question goes to Nicole, because Nicole, you are also a journalism major. How do you build up your trust on yourself? What did you do besides your keto diet you are doing right now? Besides that, how do you build up your trust on yourself, build up your confidence on yourself?
Yeah, so I think there's many ways one person can build up their confidence. I think the first thing is just gaining experience, putting yourself out there towards achieving your goals and making that first step. I know we spoke about that in previous seasons of Inspire, but I really think putting yourself out there and giving yourself a chance is the ultimate foundational base to do anything and to learn and to grow and motivate yourself. But I also think there's other ways to trust in yourself, more specifically as an individual, such as, journaling and focusing on mini victories and mini successes instead of looking at the goal or achievement at a large, where you can, see those little victories and celebrate them one by one.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing that. And yes, I do understand that in order for you to trust yourself, you got to start listening to yourself. And there are weaknesses and strength. So you got to take care of the weakness and make your strength. Then only the confusion which we just spoke about, what Emily went through from biology to journalism, and Valley has been trying to tell Emily that that's wrong. You should be going back to biology again. Okay. So, I know Valley, you did not do it, but, but I'm just taking that as an example because Emily got fully convinced with Nicole, because they're close by. You are all the way in Montana. You could not convince her enough to be in healthcare profession, and Nicole did it. So she got it, but now she has to live with it in order to gain the confidence. So, question to Valley: what elements do you think that you can do in your life as a healthcare profession so that the self-doubt which you have, everybody has a doubt, and especially with pandemic today, there are plenty of doubts has been implemented in our mind. Can I get a job? Can I pass the exam? Because every situation is different now because of pandemic. So doubt is something like the coronavirus has been implemented in everybody's brain, the doubt. Let's call it the doubt virus, okay? So if that is the case, how do you get confidence on yourself? What elements would you take, Valley, so that you can keep your confidence in yourself more and more and work on the strength rather than, work on your weaknesses rather than, doubting yourself?
Well, I guess I first notice my weaknesses and then I just targeted them. I do what I have to do to overcome them, whether that's studying more for an exam that I'm not feeling all too prepared for, or I don't know, just giving myself a little bit of a break to collect my mind to come back to that later. I wouldn't say I carry a lot of doubt with me nowadays, definitely more last year, but it's been a long time coming and I feel fairly confident in myself now. So
Excellent. So these are all from your perspective. How about Gary? What do you think about? Because a lot of time what we do when we start having doubts, once we start having, losing confidence, we start making excuses. So in one of the session, I said that everybody should work on to say goodbye to excuses, different excuses. So how do you deal personally with your career? The excuses come because of the, again, pandemic, because of the coronavirus thing. There are many doubts coming in. So how would you deal with goodbye to excuses?
Well, I think this chart is a perfect example. We can never stop doubt. We're always going to be faced with doubt. The key is, what do we do with that doubt? How do we handle it? Are we going to say, well, I doubt my career, so I'm never going to make it? That becomes an excuse. And already you're on the off ramp. The second you make an excuse, you're giving yourself a reason not to achieve what you want to achieve. The key is, don't worry if you're doubting. It's going to happen. Have a doubt, think about it, but decide what to do about it. you can still have great doubt, but continue working towards your goal. You can work a little bit every day towards something, whether it's working on a book or working on a song or working on a paper. So what helps is if you have the doubt, just do one thing in the right direction and make sure you thank yourself for continuing that work. Don't think, well, oh, I didn't get a whole bunch done. I wanted to get so much done. No, I got one page done. I got one paragraph done. I am going to thank myself for that. And that gets you back off the off ramp and on the highway to success.
No, thank you very much for that that tips here, that you got to start appreciating every step you go in order to build confidence on yourself. So you make a chart. That's how I would do. I would make it milestones on all the small steps. And then, like last time we spoke about, that mini victories are very important. Again, I'm going to switch back to Emily again here. We spoke about goodbye to excuses. Do you ever feel that sometimes you give yourself some excuses in order to not to achieve some of your milestones?
Yeah, I feel like sometimes, like, I think that's just like natural. Like sometimes you kind of try to make excuses, or like, oh, like I don't want to do this because of this, and you try to like justify it. I feel like I don't do that too much. I actually do think I'm a little bit too self-critical, so I tend to just kind of like take things and that aren't my fault and then act like it's my problem to solve. But I definitely think that is a normal part of life. Like you try to just justify not doing something or doing something. I think the way to handle that though is to kind of just like take a step back and look at the situation and look at like what's actually going on. Why do I not want to do this thing? Like what about this thing is making me want to make excuses? And then I think that's kind of how I ended up realizing that I wasn't passionate about the healthcare field. I was like, oh, like I wasn't just that interested. I kind of like, whenever I'd have to do my work, I would just be like, okay. And then I took a step back and realized like, well, I wasn't excited about it. And I guess when you see yourself making those excuses, you can look at like what the reason behind it is.
Absolutely. I think you are bringing up a good point, that everybody should think what you are good at. That's the first thing you need to understand. What are you good at? Once you have that, that gives you confidence. Nicole, you did put it at the right time, boosting your confidence. Because boosting your confidence you cannot have until you feel that, oh, I'm good at this. Because you got to say goodbye to excuses. You got to. Otherwise, you cannot make it. Like I told Emily, if she wants to go to Manhattan from Long Island, she can find 10 excuses not to go there. But she has to be there. For whatever reason, she has to be there at, what time is it now? Well, it's 1:30. So she has to be there at 3 o'clock. She can find a lot of excuses not to go there. But once she knows what she's good at, in order to attend that particular meeting at 3 o'clock, she will build up that good thing. You got to nurture the good which you know. So Nicole, how do you boost your own confidence? How do you share your confidence and tell that, okay, this is how I boost? Do you take some tonic from CVS pharmacy?
No, unfortunately, they don't have pills or stuff that you could take to gain confidence. It's kind of a mental thing. So going along these lines, we touched on it earlier this week, but I think it's super important to take that quote unquote mental health spa day and really reevaluate, take that step back, reevaluate the situation and what you're going through, what your mindset is, what your thoughts are, and, reassess how you need to go from there. So I think having that self-care and having that reflection period is super important to boosting your confidence, gaining confidence. And personally, for me speaking, I haven't reached that full point of confidence yet. I don't really think anyone does. It's kind of a learn as you go thing. So I think that's really also important to emphasize as well.
Thank you very much bringing up that mental spa. By the way, I found a place in Manhattan. That's why I'm keeping on telling Emily to go to Manhattan, because there is a deal going on in a mental spa. Buy one, get one free. So Nicole, if you want to jump on with Emily in that car, you can go to Manhattan and you can get a spa there, and you can get your, tonic, the boost, that is available in that mental spa. They give you drink it. It's very healthy. It's a keto based, and you can be boosting your confidence. So, Valley, how would you? I know Nicole just ruled out the way that you don't find any pills, you don't find any tonic, but I know in Montana they have this 5 hours energy booster drinks in the gas stations you can find. Don't you think if I drink that, or if you drink that, you can boost your confidence on it?
Well, they're made to help with energy, not really with confidence. So I don't think that would work very well.
How would it work? You've been in a healthcare profession. How do you do about, besides going to mental spa?
Well, I kind of just look at it like at a different angle, where I just see my son and I know he's looking up to me and that he relies on me. So I just push myself every day to be better and to become better for him. So he's definitely helped bring my confidence up, just knowing that in the end it'll do good doing what I'm doing. So
Very nice, very nice. That's a very good way of looking at it, because somebody is looking at you or looking for you, but that so that you can go up, so they're looking, somebody's looking at, and you need to be a role model for them. And in order for that, you got to build up your confidence and boost your confidence. And Gary, how do you, besides you running every week, how do you boost your confidence?
Well, everybody has a different way of doing it. I think sometimes exercise just gets your minds off negative things. But for me, boosting my confidence is achieving small goals on the way to a larger goal. So if there is something I have to do, like write a paper for school or write minutes for work, if I can get page 1 done or the first paragraph done, I make sure I thank myself for that. I make sure that I say good job to myself, and that really helps me not get off the ramp and helps me to get inspired to continue to do the work that I want to do to reach my goal.
Thank you very much, Gary. So in this session today, in last 3 minutes, I'm going to switch the workshop in a little different way. But right now, we all understood how to get rid of this self-doubt, which we called as the doubt virus. Okay, we know that how to get rid of it. So if you don't know, please reach out to us. We'll have another wonderful session so that we can either recommend you to go to a mental spa or give you a 5 hours, 6 hours, boost tonic in order to boost your energy. But in the last 3 minutes, what I would like to do, because we have wonderful guest from Long Island, Emily, tell me a little bit about between today and end of this year. By the way, Emily, do you realize that we are in 2021? We are already in the 14th day.
I know, it's crazy.
I know.
Sorry, so I cut out for a second. What did you say?
I said, I know. So you do realize that we are in the 14th day already in 2021. So my question to you is, between today till end of the year, what goal in your journalism career would you like to achieve?
I guess I just want to continue to grow as a journalist and just get more experience and keep working and just continue to create content that I think I would be proud of, and just keep working towards just achieving that end goal of just like being proud of the work that I like produce.
Where would you like to anchor yourself, or where would you like to write a paper? Any big goals do you have in this year you want to achieve?
Yeah, so a little more specifically, I want to try out some more content regarding business journalism. I want to break into that field a little bit. I'm taking a class about it. I think it's really interesting, and I've always been really interested in it. So by the end of the year, I hope I'm looking for maybe like a business journalism internship, that kind of thing, to see if I can just learn more about it and just grow in that field, because that's something I'm like actually really passionate about.
Excellent, excellent. So you know this, in this particular workshop, what we covered is make sure during this journey, and take this as a big note for you so that you can succeed, do not bring excuses here. What the slide Nicole shared with us, goodbye to excuses, make sure you follow that. And also boost your confidence. Take a break. If you think that you need to take a break, if you need to go for a mental spa, please reach out to Nicole. Nicole has many mental spas she has done over this years, and she knows where she can recommend you. Okay. Coming back to Nicole. Sorry, Nicole, I always try to pull your legs. But here, instead of pulling your legs, what I would like you to do is tell what, like Emily said, what would you like to be between today and end of the year? Where would you like to position yourself?
Yeah, so I think my goals are somewhat similar to Emily's because we are in the same field. So on a smaller scale of increasing the type of content that I'm producing, increasing more multimedia content, which is broadcasting, photography, writing, just expanding it more, and taking off with my podcast that I'm starting when I go back. So I'm super excited about that. But I think on a more larger scale would be to move up within the student media organizations that I'm a part of, and as well as getting, bigger internships for certain companies, like media companies, photography companies, whatever publishers. I think that's definitely a big goal that I want to accomplish by the end of 2021.
And what would you like to do to overcome any doubt virus coming into you?
I think everything that you mentioned today is super important to break free of that self-doubt, or like you said, that doubt virus. I really like that a lot. But I really think it's important to break up the goals into little mini things, and kind of what Gary said earlier is celebrate those mini victories. I think that's super important. But just to kind of remember to reassess, reevaluate, and keep a positive mindset through everything and have strong confidence.
We all need to have a vaccine for the self-doubt virus.
That's why we are waiting the last. Here, there's Valley, who is coming from healthcare industry. So Valley, what is your personal goal to achieve? I know you're going to school as well. So between today and end of the year, that is December 31st, 2021, what would you like to achieve? What would you like to see?
Well, as far as school, I think I'm going to do it by semester. And this semester I'm fully online. So I guess what my goal is to become learn better studying tactics, because I can get very unmotivated, especially being online. So I just need to focus on my studying tactics.
And what would you do to keep that doubt virus coming in and affecting you?
Well, I just make time. I have to set alarms and be 7 to 8 o'clock is strictly school time. And then I can give myself 5-10 minutes to relax after and then get back to it. So it's kind of like that, and keeping a positive mindset and everything really helps the virus.
Excellent. Well, like Gary said, maybe Gary is in the process of developing a virus vaccine. Okay, we don't know how long it's going to take, but maybe by 2022, we can have that vaccine, and then we can start giving to all of you for this to get rid of doubt. So
Just
again,
call me Dr. Undoubt.
well, again, you are dealing with two journalists, okay? So they're going to put those in media. So be careful what you speak.
Okay.
Even though, First Amendment says freedom of speech, okay? And Emily and Nicole, both of them are very good at executing those amendments. So Nicole, do you think, since you are going to wrap up this session in workshop today, but do you think we have done enough so that we could get rid of this, self-doubt by boosting our self-confidence and doing things, understanding ourselves, what is the instinct we have, what is our strength, so that we can definitely achieve our goal by the end of let's not go for 5 years, 10 years. That's why I came up with the last session was till end of 2021. Do you think I did enough for today, and you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I think for sure. And I think the 3 different topics that we broke this season's weekly season down really, really elaborates and aligns with the whole message of breaking free of self-doubt. And I think you perfectly described that today. I know I am feeling a little bit more confident and ready to tackle some goals for this year. I think I can speak for all of us when I say that. But to wrap things up, thank you, Dr. Khanna, for this wonderful live workshop of Season 4, Inspire Your Best Life. Like mentioned before, I'm Nicole McIsaac and would like to thank you for tuning into today's discussion and hearing about the importance behind breaking free of self-doubt. We hope you were able to take something away from today's workshop and are just a little closer to finding your own personal summit. We'd like to shout out and thank our guest speaker for today, Emily Filmay, for contributing to today's discussion. Stay tuned for next week's Inspire Your Best Life season, where Dr. Khanna will discuss the theme of Dream Big to Go Far. Please make sure to visit Dr. Khanna's website, returningyouth.com, to hear more about the most recent initiative that's been launched for post-incarcerated young adults. You can also view all the past training videos for Inspire Your Best Life at inspireyourbestlife.com. In addition, please don't hesitate to reach out for any questions, concerns, or comments at contactk.com. Thank you, have an amazing day, and we'll see you next week for season 5.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Dr. Khanna, Valley, and Nicole.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Valley. Thank you, Nicole. And thanks, guys.